Hey guys, welcome back. So, everyone on the entire planet right now has either seen or heard about Squid Game. And I believe it's on pace to be the #1 Netflix show of all time, unless it is already, which it might be. But I compiled a list of thriller webtoon series that Squid Game fans can enjoy. I think part of what made Squid Game interesting was just the nature of the games that the people had to play in them. The characters just had to go through so much, and they had to use not only their wit, but also their concentration and their bodies, and they just had to just always remain focused on every task. And not only that, but the show had a lot of different messages about social hierarchy and just social classes in general. So with all those themes in mind, I compiled a list of webtoon comics that you guys might enjoy. Alright, so the first recommendation I have for you is Money Game. This webtoon is a bit under the radar, but it's actually very, very good. When I first opened it, I was thrown off by the art style actually, because the art style is a little bit rough, right? But you grow accustomed to it really, really fast. And I actually believe it makes the comic seem a little more raw and a little more just authentic, if that makes any sense. It's a webtoon series that's pretty similar to Squid Game because it has the same initial premise of inviting financially unstable people to a really shady spot and forcing them to play games. Only this time, instead of pitting the contestants directly against each other in a bunch of games, they have to try to work together to beat one game and win the cash prize to split amongst themselves. But of course it's not going to be easy, and the game that they're forced to play is actually designed to make them fight amongst each other. Check this one out, guys. The next one is Escape Room. So this one is actually a very interesting one. It feels like a webcomic of one of the Saw movies. A guy wakes up in a room after getting kidnapped and he has to solve a bunch of puzzles in order to escape. One thing I liked about Squid Game was the strategizing that went into winning the games. And this webcomic has an MC that's really, really good at finding his way out of sticky situations. At the point I'm in the comic, I actually don't know why he's in there in the first place or why he has to escape. I just know that he's really good at escaping with using puzzles and stuff. But you guys should definitely read this one if you enjoy doing escape rooms, I guess, and puzzles, and if you like the Saw movies. The next one's Pyramid Game. This one is about a certain game that takes place in a high school. And there's a messed up ranking system on people's phones where they do popularity votes to determine who in the school should get bullied. The comic itself is essentially centered around social hierarchy to some extent, much like Squid Game did. And I can already foresee that the pyramid that's in this comic is going to get knocked down by the main character. And when it does get knocked down, I'm sure it'll be very, very satisfying. So check this one out if you maybe like revenge against bully stories. The next one is Tales of Greed. This one is my personal favorite out of all the ones on this list. It is made by a webtoon company that is owned by author Park Tae-jun. He's my favorite webtoon author. He's the author of Lookism and Viral Hit, if you guys know those. And this one is actually a collection of short stories. So for those of you that hate webtoon series that stretch on forever without having a real end, this one is really, really nice. Every story has a common theme of greed, but each one is a thriller in its own creative way. And actually one of them that I've read is actually pretty wholesome. It has a good ending. I don't know about the other ones though. But the stories are overall just very well written. And art style, of course, it reminds me of Lookism a lot, which is never a bad thing. So that was it for this webtoon recommendation list, guys. Check them all out and let me know what you guys think down in the comments.